All right, everyone. It's that time of the week. Welcome to This Week in Frax. I'm your host, DeFi Dave, and I am here, as always, with Sam McCullough and Capital K. If you want to catch every week of This Week in Frax, you go ahead, you hit that bell button, you subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on our socials at FlyWellDeFi on Twitter, TikTok, and Telegram. And make sure you follow me on Twitter at DeFiDave22, and then other folks.
Follow me at 0xcapital_K.
And I'm at traders_insight.
Yeah, and subscribe to our website at flywelldefi.com. And getting into This Week in Frax, before we get into anything, we have Sam on Metronome's feature this week, Metronome to the Dome. So Sam, take it away.
Hey everybody, welcome to week 5 of Metronome to the Dome, and we are up to $21.32 of profit. Wow. Finally hitting the big time. 44% APY. Finally making some good numbers. This is pretty incredible. I'm really surprised with this. Up to 21.6750, and this is great. All right, so taking a look at the rates that are happening right now. Look at that. VA Frax with a top leveraged interest rate that you can earn of 77% right now. That is absolutely incredible. Yields are off the charts this week. That is just great. Frax leading the pack over everybody else. Oh, wow. 82% on USDC as well, too. So really some nice opportunities for smart farming right now. So come over to Metronome and try out their synthetic leverage farming today.
Fantastic update, Sam. Thank you so much for that.
You guys are welcome. It's looking great over there with our smart farming.
Yeah, Metronome to the Dome, getting smarter and smarter. Farming the smart farming. All right, shout out Green Jeff as always. Okay, getting into it. Sam, let's go to you again. What happened this week in Frax? I see the CR's up.
Yeah. Well, the CR is up, but more importantly, the Prisma Wars have kicked off, and Frax is a huge part of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you know what? I saw Crypto Investor's feature, which has been really popular on our channel. I read the article, and I get it now. I've been Prisma pilled. I'm completely Prisma pilled.
It's pretty incredible, actually. I think the good vibes that have been coming from Prisma this week are really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great to see such amount of TVL come into the protocol in a short amount of time.
Yeah, unreal. 350 million. That's insane.
I know.
For a new protocol.
It's pretty
right off the bat. Just think about DeFi summer in 2020. I'll always be like that kind of boomer. Like when something got like that much, everyone was like, whoa. But now it's like, the fact that's an excellent launch. Good for them.
I know. And so Frax has a $30 million cap, which should be increasing soon. They're going to double it or take it up even higher. Very excited to see that.
I mean the sFrxETH cap?
Yeah, the sFrxETH cap, yeah.
Oh, did it hit the cap?
Yeah, it's been right at the cap for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Mm-hmm. So the cap is pretty much all capped out right now. And the yields have been great. I mean, they started in the thousands of percent, and now they've come down to in the 30s, but they're still great. I mean, you get paid for the following. There's a couple of different strategies that you can take with the Prisma Wars. One, you can use your sfrxETH to borrow against you can use sfrxETH to borrow MKUSD. And then with the MKUSD, you can either put it into the stability pool. There's a curve or convex Frax space pool that you can also deposit funds into and earn yield. And so there's a ton of different options. And even if you don't want to use sfrxETH to borrow against and create MKUSD, you can always take Frax and just deposit it straight into the convex pool or the curve pool, and then put it in curve or convex and earn Prisma that way.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I was thinking about this, Convex's sudden expansion to two new protocols, FX protocol and Prisma. And, I'm thinking about, back in 2022, right before the 4-pool launched, and like how much like bribes were going on, and like the flywheel was spinning there, and then the flywheel was like really about to take off because of the floor pool and everything, but then everything just got like it got cut because of Terra Luna downfall, which helped start us. But anyways, now with things like FX and Prisma, which are real yield, that I want to like really reiterate, real yield, that's going to really juice up the flywheel for CVX and in return CRV. And I think that's going to be huge for this coming bull market, especially like the price of ETH goes up and then yields go up, and then you just have this like very, very positive flywheel. What do you guys think?
I think I'm more bullish on the fact that Frax has such a big stake in Prisma governance now.
How big's the stake?
Well, I mean, it's through Convex, right? So we have we have a pretty big stake in Convex, and then we can use all of that to vote for
the Frax pools.
Yeah, it's for the Frax pools, right? It's so cool. It's nice to see that Convex, like the more protocols that Convex brings into its stable of protocols that it supports, the more powerful Frax gets, right? And it's just this nice symbiotic ecosystem that allows for Frax to kind of spread its tentacles, if you want to call, and go everywhere while still being like positive sum across the entire space.
Yeah. And we're gonna say, Kit,
can I come in here and pour a little rain and I'll parade?
Wait. Can I say like one more thing before you pour rain on it? Okay. And Frax, all weather stablecoin for all market conditions. They have the RWA with FinRes. They got sFrax. They got FXBs coming soon. TM for the high rate market environment. And then when it's risk on, game on chain, now you got our our buddies at Convex and all their new friends with Prisma and FX protocol. So very exciting times. All right, Kid. Ruin our parade. We're ready.
I just gotta point out the price chart on Prisma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, if the war is going on, either this is the buying generational bottom of the Prisma, or there's a kind of like a not a double-edged sword, but it's like almost like a double whammy in a sense that as TVL on ETH rips up higher and the Prisma price keeps on going lower, the APR decreases like doubly because it's on a larger denominator with a smaller numerator, right? So I feel like the yields are going to get to a point where it might not even be exciting unless Prisma really kind of like picks back up.
And you're talking about like price compared to ETH, not price compared to USD.
Well, the majority of the rewards come out in the first couple of months, and then so the first 4 weeks is when most of the rewards are. There's a huge amount of rewards, and then it tapers down to a sustainable amount that starts going down and down every year. So the rewards will happen for several years. It's just it's the same thing that happened with Frax, right? There was a ton of rewards at the beginning, and now like 70% of all Frax shares has been minted. But there's still opportunities to farm, right? I guess the hope is that Prisma keeps a lot of this TVL that it has, and that people want to stay borrowing MKUSD, and that they want to keep it in the Frax base pool and the other pools that are there as well too.
I have a question for you guys, and specifically Sam, are in residence Prisma Bull next to Crypto Investor. How does Prisma, accrue value as a token? Like what?
Through the interest rates, right? And so there's some of the collaterals have mint fees. I think they're turned off right now, but there might be a mint fee in the future. Additionally, they have an adjustable interest rate, which is at 1% right now, but there is a vote going on to raise it to 2%. And, with a couple $100 million worth of ETH in that contract, I mean, that's pretty significant. That would go back to Prisma holders.
Damn, a whole 1%.
Exactly.
Yeah, crypto investors are so excited about that.
Yeah, and I also think the way they're doing the emissions, like it's almost like the locked emissions. It's actually locked for 26 weeks automatically. You have to like get a penalty to
lock drop,
get out. Yeah, it's a lock drop.
Unless you go through Convex, and then you're
Unless
unlocked.
you go to convex.
Yeah, unless you go to
Yeah.
convex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very clear that you obviously want to do that. But how's the peg with the CVX Prisma and Prisma?
Oh,
Is there,
I mean, it's always.
is there even a peg?
I haven't checked actually the CVX Prisma peg yet, but one
Kit's
thing
favorite question.
one
Is
thing
it
that I
pegged?
can say is that Convex has fixed their peg issues over the past 6 months. Really, I know that CVX CRV at one time was trading, I believe, 30% discount to CVX, or sorry, to CRV, and the Convex team ingeniously came in and figured out how to fix that by either I think they started redirecting emissions to help restore the peg, and so it's back up to peg again. They don't have any more issues, so I believe they'll probably use the same incentive structure that they have for CVX CRV to keep the Prisma peg in the same line.
Got it. How's the CVX FXS pair? Let me take a
CVX
look right
FXS
now.
pair. I mean, it's also tight as well too.
Sorry, CVX FXS FXS pair.
Yeah, that's also tight as too. Tight as
Oh,
well
really?
too. I don't think
Okay.
those have any issues because they radically changed how those tokens are distributed incentives, and so
Yeah, the peg has been good,
yeah,
as of late.
yeah, it's not an issue, and it's come under good stress over the past while, and it's shown that it's been able to handle it.
Speaking of peg, our friends at Hourglass and their old product Pitch FXS, they had a vote recently. Isn't that right? To convert the Pitch FXS from permanently locked to a time-based token, which will be unlocked in December of 2026. So almost 3 years from now, and that passed. It looked like, and it's still trading. It's up, but it's still trading at a steep discount.
Yeah.
So wonder when that will come around, when people are like, oh, these are gonna, yeah.
I think it's one of those things that like you really have to buy the illiquidity of it, and if you want to have, it's essentially like locking up your Frax for 3 years or 4 years, right, to 2026 or 3 years. So I mean, if that's cool with you, then it's probably a good opportunity because it will restore to peg. It will go back. So if there's any discount, then you'll be able to close that gap.
Yeah.
Could you vote while it's becoming liquid? Do you get access to the VE voting power?
So I will say this is that if you are a LP in the Pitch FXS Frax pool, which I'm sure some of our listeners are, it might be worthwhile, and this is not financial advice, so it might be worthwhile to remove your liquidity at this like low level that we are right now, and then just sit on your Pitch FXS as the price goes up. Because remember, like with these AMM liquidity pools, as the price starts to get down, you get more and more of one asset traded out for another asset. So at these depressed levels, that is off the peg a lot. You have a lot of Pitch FX right now. So if you could just like take out if you want to keep all your Pitch FXS and you're happy holding until the 2026 date, then you could just pull your liquidity if it's not locked, and then use whatever the other side is. I believe it's Frax, to then buy more Pitch FXS. And in theory, the return should be better than whatever the rates will be, because the price of Pitch FX is going to go back up. If you just stay in the LP and the price goes back up, you lose that ability to catch that upwards movement.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but it's like
it's like math, literally math.
Yeah, literally
it's math.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sam, what do we got next on the docket?
So today, Binance put out this like announcement. They're going to delist Frax shares from Binance. Market dumped off hard.
Wait, I thought it was BUSD.
That's the thing, right? So Binance came out and said we're delisting Frax shares BUSD.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
I understand, and so
we should. All right, people cut that. People cut that.
No. It's fine. I just wanted to leave. I was gonna burying the lead and then doing it at the end. So, anyways, people didn't understand that the pair was getting delisted was not the Frax shares USDT pair, but the BUSD pair. And so the market dumped really hard during that time period. The price of Frax shares went down to, I believe, like the low fives in a really short amount of time, like big flash crash on the USDT pair. Probably a ton of people got their longs liquidated if they had it.
Oh, pain. Especially on today when ETH rips and like you're like, what the fuck? Ripped her fallen soldiers.
And then it recovered back up to the price. If you look at the Chainlink price, the Oracle, it didn't actually move that much during that time period. It probably went down like 20 cents, but Binance went over $1 during that time period. So, if you were in Fraxland, like you're totally fine. I don't think anybody was affected from that flash crash, thankfully.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just strange, right? It's like one of those, the algos are reading the announcements and just immediately panic dump.
Yeah, the bots are already here.
Yeah. Did you guys see yesterday, almost like right when ETH hit its high, when the leak was like they filed some Delaware thing and everything rallied up, and literally within 30 minutes there was this monster wick downwards across the board. And like I always have some stinky FXS bids just between 5.5 and lower, and it got as low as 5.38.
Oh wow!
Like yeah, so a couple of my bids got hit, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it went to 6.7, and then whipped down to 5.38. So all the late longs got so hurt.
Wow!
Oh man, it was nasty seeing it.
Yeah. These things happen. I think that's one of the benefits of like being on chain is that the Chainlink oracles are really good and they use a variety of sources. And so like being one place isn't going to get you wrecked.
And of course, Kate, that isn't financial advice.
Of course not. But what is logical advice is, when you were trying to do anything on Ethereum yesterday or yesterday for me, it was at 200 Gwei for fast and like 130 for like base. And I was just like, man, if we had Frax chain, this would not be the situation, right? Like we would have our own isolated experience. And yeah.
Yeah, who I met last week? Yeah, last week. I saw my old friend Helmar from Gelato.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I can't believe it's like Friday already. I saw him like over the last weekend. I used to work at Gelato, so we caught up. And I actually, for the first time, understood how like rollups work, and how I like thought they worked was completely wrong. I had it like flip flopped. So how I thought they worked was like I thought it was like data, and then like I thought it was like data, then like execute. It was wrong, but like however I thought how it actually works is it's executed on the rollup, and then the data is posted on the main chain. I always thought it was like the other way around. I was like, oh, I thought it was like, because I'm like, oh, like, I don't know. It was interesting to hear like because he has his like roll up as a service Gelato. So if you're like starting a chain, you can just like, or if you're interested in starting your own roll up or whatever, they just like set you up out the box. It's actually really cool. Roll up as a service. But it got me thinking, like, you're going to have all these different execution environments. How are they all going to bridge to each other?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's where something like a socket comes in, right? I mean, socket's like an aggregator for cross-chain swapping and bridging all together in one. So
I'm a big fan of Bungee.
A Bungee, yeah.
I like Bungee. Have you guys ever, delved into the Cosmos ecosystem?
A little bit.
Yeah, a tiny bit. I've dabbled.
That's how it feels navigating through that thing, and it's honestly not the greatest UX because there are so many different block explorers that you kind of have to figure through.
Yeah,
like, I was trying to find a transaction that I did, and I just couldn't.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Like, some things are better standardized. Like for block explorers on like EVMs, you have Etherscan. And like
can we talk about Etherscan actually? Because like I wish I could low key be an investor in Etherscan.
Yeah.
Etherscan is like the de facto standard for block explorers, and they deploy them for pretty much every single chain or network that comes out. And each of these networks is paying somewhere to the effect of like $1 to $5 million a year for that Etherscan deployment. And That if
Picks
you,
and shovels.
picks and shovels, right? I learned that this week, and it just blows my mind. You know what? You know what's interesting? I didn't have this in the newsletter, but maybe I should. Is that Polygon announced this week that for their L2, so they're going to be having these like private L2s, kind of like what Gelato is doing, that they're going to spin up. So they're going to be implementing something which they say they took directly from Frax, where all the funds that are in these kind of like L2s that they're spinning up for like private clients or something, whoever is using them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will use a portion of the funds that are in those L2s to go and do what? Do you think?
Earn yield.
Earn yield, exactly. So like the
Ding,
ETH,
ding, ding.
yeah, exactly. So the dollars or like the stable coins, they'll take off and put them into like a treasury fund that's run by Polygon. The ETH, they're going to run their own validators and earn yield on it. And so they, I talked to them about it. They said, yeah, we got it from Frax. We love what Frax is doing, and we're going to implement this like completely wide in what Polygon is doing. And they said that for what's cool about it is
I would say, yeah, go ahead.
At more than, you only need $6 million of TVL to actually make the fees for the entire L2 that you run be fully paid for.
Ooh, so it's self-sustaining. It's
very self-sustaining. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's different from Gelato, like the rollups the polygons and optimisms and arbitrum orbits and whatnot. Those are Gelato's more of like a service. Those are more like licensing and stuff. Where like I know with optimism, it's like 15% if you want to join like the super chain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 15% of like the sequencer fees go to the Optimism Foundation.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good business as well too to be in.
Yeah. They're all like some type of like software service provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go. I'll end it with this. I always say this, but I'll end it again. Like as someone told me, like back at Zuzulu, in 2016, it was novel to launch a smart contract, and that was the cool thing to do. 2024, it's novel to launch a rollup, and that's the cool thing to do. There'll probably be like hundreds of rollups. Like a lot of some of your favorite companies are thinking of launching rollups. I won't say who, but they're coming. The tidal wave of rollups.
Oh yeah. So I do want to. I don't think I have any sad music that I can play here, but
sad
music, exactly.
Why?
So did you guys know about this Eigenlayer voting?
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. Wah, wah. So Eigenlayer had been doing this like voting contest to add new LSDs to their protocol, and so they ran this vote. It went over for a week. I think everybody in the Frax chat was like, "Hey, we have more than 15 million votes. Like, we're cool. Like, everything is great." And then we got to the end of the voting period, and what we found out is that we had 17,000 votes, which should have been enough. But a lot of people were double voting, both on Mantle and then also mainnet as well too. So 5,000 votes were removed, putting Frax under the 15K.
Oh wait, so they call people like sibling it?
No, they just said like you can only vote once on both Mantle, like even if you vote on both platforms, like Mantle and or.
Oh, so it's like per address, not per ETH.
Exactly. Yeah. And so
yeah. Okay.
So we went down to 12,000, and it's unfortunate because like you look at the list of all the other staked ETH variants that are above us, it's like Stakewise, ETH, Swell, ETH, Origin, Stater, like smaller, much smaller LSDs. But I think they probably rallied their troops a bit more. I didn't actually see this in the Frax chat this week.
Wait, so it was not on like per ETH basis, it's a per address basis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so okay, I guess that's interesting because I was I was reading the Joker Race thread who like hosted the contest from David Phelps. He's a friend. Shout out David. Joker Race is great. But it's interesting because it measures the participation, and I guess they were optimizing for per user participation instead of like per ETH participation,
Mhm.
which is fine, because I guess they want to try to like rally the community. But like, there's obvious trade-offs, because then you have something like, sFraxETH, which should obviously be in it, and be, because it's just so fucking large that it didn't get in. I feel like there could have been like a better methodology. Granted, we were biased, but if their job and their objective was to measure like per user instead of per ETH, then that's why it was the way it is.
Yeah. I think we probably like I just didn't really know about the vote that much. It's probably we could have done better on this to rally people. I don't know how many like Fraximalists that watch this were watching, but you probably voted if you're watching this. So
wait, so like
there's going to be more rounds. So
yeah,
don't worry, we'll be able to get in later.
These contests, from fucking Tokemac back in the day to Step Arbitrum,
Damn.
Tokemac. And Step the arbiter. Well, that was like actual politics and like more money on the line. Mm-hmm. This was more of like a contest, but curious how we end up in the future. So rally the troops, rally the Fraximalists.
And then we have two governance things to talk about. One is that sfrxETH was proposed by the core team to be added to FraxFerry. You'll be able to take your sfrxETH.
I saw that.
Wherever FraxFerry takes you. I think there was like 6 networks that they're going to bridge out to. And then the other one was that Aave had, I guess, mistakenly kind of deprioritized Frax. Like somebody asked, so there was this like proposal about onboarding sfrxETH to Aave several months back, and it passed. I mean, I think it went through. At the time, though, we didn't have the Chainlink Oracle for sfrxETH, and so it kind of got put on the back burner at the time. And I don't think the Aave team was actually updated that we did get a Chainlink Oracle. So somebody asked about it this week. Mark came back.
We got Chainlink Oracle for sfrxETH?
Yeah.
Oh, about fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
finally,
Mark in the Aave chat was like, "Oh yeah, we deprioritized this because we have a ton of other stuff that we're working on, and we just didn't, we don't without an Oracle." Yeah,
they just had like a little scare.
And then Sam jumped into the chat and said, everything's great. We have this Chainlink Oracle now. And Mark was like, great, let's do a new temperature check and get rolling with it. So
a new temperature check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now that there'll be a new temperature check, if it passes, then we'll be added into Aave, which would be huge, I think.
Yeah.
Loopy, loopy, loop.
Mm-hmm. That time. Thank the Lord. Yeah. Thank you. Better late than never.
So yeah, that wraps it up for this week. That's all I got.
Yeah. Chat's very active and high spirits.
So who's the guest that we have on for this week?
This week we have
the interview. We have Timeless on, right?
Oh yeah. We have time. Well, yeah, no, we said that at the beginning.
But that's where we're going to now.
No. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry. I thought I'm sorry. I worked out and I haven't eaten. I'm kind of dizzy. I'm kind of delirious. So, yes, we have on our friends at Timeless Finance. We have MajeStyle, which I wish I asked him like how he chose that name when he was 13. Because if I was 13, I would have chosen that name too. But they have like a really cool product that you can, it's as I say, it's a game. Will the interest rate of sFrax go up or down? And I'll leave it at that. And I guess I'll roll into it. So here we go. All right, everyone. On this edition of This Week in Frax, I am pleased and excited to present MajeStyle from Timeless Finance. Timeless Finance has been a true partner in the Frax ecosystem for some time. And they have quite the interesting product now with sFrax. So, MajeStyle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm extremely excited. So I'm introducing to you today Timeless V2, right? So what is Timeless? It is a yield tokenization platform, right? We've heard about those. So where's the twist? I would say that the main focus of Timeless V2 is that the yield tokens, they are perpetuals. So there is no maturity, there is no expiration. You can like make a bet there that is suited for long-term users as well as short-term users. So what do you get when you deposit sFrax on Timeless? Your token is split into two parts. One, it's called XPYT, so positive yield token, and the other one is called NYT, which is negative yield token. I think like one very clever way to explain it is to think about it as bets. So your PYT is like making a bet on a horse that will run faster and win you the race. And then the NYT is actually making a bet on the horse that will arrive last. So a bet that pays off only if the yield actually goes down. So no matter what, the total payout of the bets is always equal to the underlying, right? So XPYT plus NYT always equals the same as if you just held the sFrax. So why would you do that? Well, let's say you have some sFrax, you're feeling good about earning more yield. Well, right now sFrax is about $1. XPYT though, it's about 67 cents. And because it allows you to earn all the underlying yield of the same sFrax, well, you can actually just go there and buy XPYT and earn yield as if you had 167 about sFrax. So this is extremely interesting. Now, of course, what's the downside, right? In case the yield of sFrax goes down, well, then you're going to lose a little bit because the positive yield token goes down if the yield goes up, and the negative yield token goes up if the yield goes down. So I would say that in the case of sFrax, the yield is quite predictable. So, we know in advance if it's going to go down or up. It's very tied to these RWAs. So there is obviously kind of a real world asset participation. And so users can really hedge against that, can really bet on the market, or they can just hold the token to earn more.
Okay, I got it. So it's basically like a game. It's a game of like, which way will the interest rate go? Dun, 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 dun. Will it go up or will it go down? If you're feeling confident, you buy the P version of the token. And if you think it's going to go down, you could buy the N version of the token. And so there is that right?
That's perfectly right, yes. Mm-hmm. And if you're feeling neutral, then you can earn more yield on the same asset value just by also holding the P version of the token, which automatically compounds. It's if you want the one that gets all the yield.
Wait, what's it? Is that the X token or you said P token?
It's a XPYT.
XP. Okay. Oh, so there's three tokens. There's PTY. Wait, P. What?
PYT for positive yield.
PYT, NYT, and XPYT. Okay.
Yes. So XPYT is essentially, the version of PYT that gets all the yield. So in V2, okay, this is going to be kind of the default option because it has this like extremely interesting property that it just all the yield goes there. So this is very exciting.
I have a question. Where do you see the composability of this type of DeFi primitive throughout DeFi? Do you have any other partnerships or collaborations with it?
Dave, this is a lovely question. It's the thing I wanted to talk about next because you want to avoid when you have such a thing, a chicken and an egg problem, right? To enable usability of both of these ERC20 tokens, you need liquidity, but to have liquidity, you need usage on the platform, right? So Timeless is actually the protocol that's also behind Bunny. I know that Frax has done a lot of work on Bunny because it's this genius like reward layer on top of Uniswap, right? So essentially you can go on Uniswap, create a pool of XPYT and NYT tokens, and then you can incentivize it on Bunny. So this way you can have single-sided exposure in a DeFi pool. So Uniswap, is kind of this pillar of DeFi, immutable protocol, very solid. You earn rewards on that and trading fees by people that want to use the platform to trade the token. So,
okay. So it's the pair. XPYT and NPYT,
NYT.
NYT, and so that's the LP pair on Bunny.
You can have an LP pair, and
Okay.
if you LP the underlying the same value of the underlying, you're kind of guaranteed that the sum of those two will always be the same as your sFrax.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right. So
okay, and then you get the Bunny rewards on top of it.
Yes, and the trading fees.
And the trading fees.
It's really an exciting opportunity. Traditionally in DeFi, if you want to pool two assets and earn trading fees, well, you are kind of exposing yourself to the risk of two different protocols, while here you're just having single-sided exposure. I think that's extremely cool. So to repeat the process, you have 100 sFrax, you're happy, they're earning you yield, but you want more. Well, you go on Timeless, you get the equivalent in X, PYT, and NYT. Those two, as long as you hold them and then you don't do anything with them, they will always be worth the same as if you just held the sFrax. But then, since you want more, you go on Bunny, you deposit them in a pool, and you earn emissions on top of swap fees, on top of the yield that sFrax generates by itself. So I think this is really very cool thing. To the best of my knowledge, the first time that you can earn trading fees on just single-sided exposure. And I'm sure, Frax and sFrax holders in particular will be super cool. There is another layer of coolness that Bunny pools, they have an oracle. So potentially somebody could come in and say, well, now you can also borrow using this pool as collateral to kind of.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. Yes. I got a quick question. So when are you able to redeem at a certain point in time? Because these are perpetual, right? So, when can I realize the gains?
Anytime, yes. So if you look at the Timeless V2 interface, well, now you cannot because we're actually going live with a soft launch next week. But you can also redeem. The underlying are held.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so you can always redeem. You can always mint. It's always guaranteed, gotcha. Right? There is a little fee, so there is always more in the protocol than users have in circulation.
And what were you going to say? Did I cut you off?
Oh, I just wanted to go ahead. There is other, cool ways to use this. Maybe they are catering to more advanced users. So maybe if we have more to say about the more common usages, I'm happy to talk about it because to me, this is so exciting.
Yeah, no, let's hear it. I'm sure our listeners are quite curious. So, what are the other usages?
Yeah, so, well, the obvious one that one may think about is yield speculation. So because the way the sFrax yield will go is known in advance, well, you can just scoop up some positive token or negative token and make some buck on that. And then finally, the yield hedging is something that's part of risk management strategies of funds. This is slowly also coming to users. It's kind of building a fortress around your yield. You're safeguarding your assets against the unpredictable tides of the market. We know that these US treasuries, they're now at their all-time high. So some people are feeling conscious, is it ever going to go down? And more when rather than if. So how can I protect myself? Well, if you just hold some negative yield tokens, you're essentially at least
you're hedging yourself. Yeah,
that you have a stable value, and then when or if the yield goes down, you will make a little profit. You will kind of be able to hedge this, kind of having this counterbalance that neutralizes the turbulences in the market.
Yeah, and where can people find? You said it's going to launch next week. Very exciting. And so where do people go next week if they want to use this primitive?
So it's a timeless.pro. Sorry, actually, let me grab the right website because it's not. So it's v2.timeless.com.
V2, everyone.
Yeah, it's so it's not fully live yet, and next week we'll have a soft launch. We'll be able to welcome some smaller participants. And we're very excited about this. So we talked today about sFrax, but obviously Frax has another exciting product that's yield generating, and it's sFraxETH.
Okay.
So you can do more, and then you can also have pools where you have PYT from sfrxETH and sFrax. Like it never ends really. It's the beauty of DeFi Lego. It just goes on.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Sure.
MajeStyle, thanks so much for coming on. Before you go, can you give you and Timeless's socials?
Yes, so we are Timeless on Twitter. There is a very, very active Discord community. We are now also recruiting community members to help us spread the word. So feel free to join, come on in, and discover the beauties that both Timeless and Bunny enable. We have a very strong partnership with Frax. The guys from Frax are actually some of the biggest bribe boors there. So whether you want to use it or just farm yield, you're welcome. We want to receive you with open arms.
Hop on over to Bunny, folks. MajeStyle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me, and have a great day ahead.
You too. Ciao. Well, thanks, me, for that one. All right, that wraps it up for This Week in Frax. I'm your host, DeFi Dave, here with Capital K and Sam McCullough, as always. And to keep up with us every single week, you know what to do. You hit that bell button and you subscribe. Do that right now. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Give us a like. Make sure you follow us on our socials at Flywheel DeFi on Twitter, Telegram, and TikTok. Make sure you subscribe to flywheeldefi.com for all the latest alpha of Frax DeFi and everything in between. Make sure you follow yours truly, Decentralized Finance David, at DeFi Dave22 on Twitter.
And follow me at 0xcapital_Kate.
And I'm at traders_insane.
And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.